We made our mistakes, the good and bad days, but nothing really breaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tilt Champions League. Tonight we kick off with an epic clash between two teams for their first match of the season. First, we have Yappapotomi, like the mighty hippos. They're powerful and ready to make a splash in the rift. Next up, Team Shai Halud. Inspired by the legendary sandworms of Dune, they bring the precision and the mystique of the desert to the battlefield. Who will claim the first victory? Will Yap charge through with raw power? Or will TSH rise from the sands with strategic brilliance? Let's find out as the games begin. My name is Jbob. I'm joined by the legendary Spurg tonight. Spurg, how you doing? What are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to this match. Honestly, I think this one's going to be a bit of a barn burner. It seems there's a lot of similar matchups when you look at lane to lane, and we've got some newcomers to the league who are going to be on the TCL Rift for their first time ever. So we'll see if there's any jitters with those guys. And we've got a lot of returning faces that people are going to be familiar with, and I think we're in for a good one.
Yeah, and like you said, some new faces, some familiar faces as well, right? We've got folks the likes of Control and Speedy and Jazz, and all, people are very familiar with these. Little housekeeping note: Luciv has been subbed out tonight. Couldn't make it, and so Sugan, I'm gonna go with that pronunciation, is subbing in for the AD role
Sugan
for Yap.
Sword.
Sure. Yeah. I believe they're friends with Riolklu, so we may that's an interesting one. We might be seeing some bot lane synergy there. Just off of a little bit of spying on games and whatnot, it looks like they haven't played a lot lately. Of course, they could have other accounts and all that, but interested to see how that shapes up. Obviously, Luciv is a very important part of the team, so will Sugan Sword be able to fill those shoes? That'll be an interesting thing to follow tonight.
Yeah. They've only played 4 ranked games so far this season, and only 1 on AD. So we'll see what how that turns out for them. And I mean, obviously, they're comfortable with it. They're the teams get to nominate their own fills when they've got somebody who's going to be absent. So they've got confidence in it. And for anybody new to the league, these nominations do have to be approved by both teams to make sure there's parity and all of that. To make sure everybody's comfortable with it.
Another little comment. So the team's reason we're not showing it yet, they're doing a little draft law on the side. So when we get the actual draft, it's going to go fast. Do we want to start talking about picks? I think we probably can, because the picks are going to come rapid fire when we do get to it in client. Anything jumping out at you first that you're seeing, if you've had a chance to peek at that yet, as to what they're looking at? I see a very spicy TSH team comp that I'm very interested in watching how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be better to save it for when it's actually on the stream and everybody can view it. I think that might be the best way to go about it. But
I just didn't want it to go too fast, where it's like hard to follow what's going on.
Yeah, there will be some familiar comfort picks that you guys will you'll see coming up here in a minute. And it looks like we're getting into it right now.
So I'm seeing a lot of targeted bans. I assume those are all mid bans going towards Yaps, mid laner, the legendary, the one and only Vrail, the old guy.
Yeah, you can't let Vrail have that Vel'Koz. Vrail is the high diamond, even a master tier at one point player on that Vel'Koz. So smart idea taking that away. That's a no-brainer.
Disappointed to see the Yi ban come out. Was looking forward to some spicy Yi play, but
an underutilized champion in TCL. But when somebody's got maybe not a one trick per se, but a comfort pick that they're playing a lot, you definitely want to get rid of those first.
Yeah, and looking at the picks, that was targeted at Cody. So he plays a lot of that, plays a lot of Karthus as well. It looks like they haven't gone for both bans, so I would expect to maybe see a Karthus jungle here, because that's his other pick. Again, like I said, surprised maybe they don't take out both there. Sort of pushes him, obviously, onto the Karthus. Maybe they've got a plan as to how to handle that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, what's happened this season, and actually, I think for the first time that I can remember, you're actually seeing AD champions, ADC bot laners getting banned out. in Champ Select, which historically has never been the case. But with the new items now, champions like Caitlyn can just be so incredibly oppressive, and
So
you just want to get them out of there.
some technical difficulties it looks like with the draft. Yeah, yeah, we're working on it. So I will narrate it for you. So Shai Halud so far has taken Trundle, Karthus, Way. So obviously that's going to be Troll in the Way, Karthus in the jungle, Trundle most likely top, could be a flex support or something kind of crazy. And then for Yap, we've got Jax Vigar coming out. All right, there you go. There's a not as fancy, but hey, you can see the picks view on stream. So
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
tank bands
Speaking of stream, I think I'm stuck, but that's no problem. You guys don't want to see me anyway.
Unlucky. I don't know. Maybe try refreshing on your end. So, yeah, some like I was saying, some tank target bans for the top lane. It's interesting. The Malphite Mundo bans there when the Trundle's already taken. Okay, maybe they thought it was a Trundle support. Maybe I don't know something there. Maybe King plays that. Takes Galio support. Okay, maybe could be.
Okay, I think the stream's back caught up now.
Yep.
So I think we can see Champ Select, which is great. So yeah, thanks for getting us through that there, Jbob. I mean, some of these matchups, I'm curious to see how they'll play out. The Corki is incredibly strong early game in that bot lane. He's literally just a fire and forget. You press your E, you stand and face the enemy, and they fall over. Especially against somebody like Jhin, who isn't necessarily strong early, but does have that support karma, which is, as far as laning phase goes, is usually very well suited to that. And on the other side, the support, we got King Clover, who's on the Galio, which early game provides a lot of crowd control, but is still rather squishy. So I mean, I think that bot lane of Shai Halud is going to be very susceptible to ganks early.
The thing I'm probably most interested in is the mid jungle matchups. The Way Karthus into the Jax Vigar. That the Karthus and Way seems very vulnerable to some ganks from Jax coming in the lane and being trapped in the baby cage from the Vigar. So, of course, if they can get snowballing, get rolling, they'll be unstoppable. But those are two very not thick boys in the mid and jungle, so they're going to have to be playing with an extra level of care there. I imagine. Love to see some aggression from the Jax, some counter getting in there, shutting the Karthus down, not letting him just farm like a madman. And just get massive gold lead.
I mean, if they handle their vision really well, though, that can prove to be incredibly difficult. Karthus is a turbo farmer. He kind of fits that same sort of role, even that Coach's Yi does. And Coach is new to this league. This is going to be his first TCL game here today, so I'm not very familiar with his picks outside of the Yi. But Karthus fits the same mold, where you sort of just AFK farm. You get to the point where you have got 2.5, 3 items, and then you just run out and dominate the game. The upside with Karthus doing that is, you still have that ult. You've got, likely have a burn item, potentially even 2 burn items. You just press ult, you can win a team fight from anywhere on the map, even while you're turbo farming both your jungle and the opponents.
And I think we're trying to get a Gamba going. I believe production's working on it. It just went up, I think. Maybe. So working on that. Just a comment on the Jhin Karma bot lane. That is going to be so hard to play into. The amount of roots there and shield, it's like that's going to be very tough. Obviously, Corki's pretty mobile. Galio can get in there and slap around as well, but that can be very frustrating.
and comes back to the Karthus jungle too. They're not going to have a lot of support when it comes to ganks or helping them get off their turret, anything along those lines, because typically a Karthus doesn't want to be doing that. He'll do that if his clear's down and there's no space for an invade. But I mean, outside of those key moments, which are maybe few and far between depending on the state of the game, they're not going to see a lot of support. Same with the Hui, but the Hui, he's going to have really good control of that Jax if he goes in with the sphere. As long as he doesn't get stuck by that baby cage, though, as you said, and then it's probably lights out for that Hui.
Just very little hard CC coming from the side of Troll's team. They're just what do we have? We've got a Galio taunt on a couple folks. that's it. Some Hui sort of slow CC a little bit, right? A Trundle pillar, but not a lot. If I'm them, I'm a little worried that something like a Jax, like that Urgot, are going to get onto the team, and they're not going to have a lot to get them off the team. Yes, you could just try to take them out first, but little scared there. There's a lot of weird counter synergy of Karthus wanting to just get in there and dive bomb himself, right, and just put out a ton of damage, as well as Hui not doing that, right, hanging back, poking, working the team down. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really think we've discussed sort of what we think based on the draft. Like, what are our predictions here about this game, maybe the whole series, if we wanted to talk about that as teams get set up.
I mean, as far as the series goes, I think I'm on the side of Shai Halud here. I think that the matchups favor them a bit more. As far as this specific game is concerned, I don't know. I'm sort of leaning with Yap for this specific game though, because I mean, Shai Halud's got the issue here where if they get down in gold, in power, there's not a lot of way back in for them. So they're very reliant on farming. They're not really going to find it easy to get picks. They have zero crowd control, as you said. So they could see this game, slip away if there's some early mistakes. What about yourself?
I'll say what you said similarly in a different way, though. I think Yap maybe takes this game, but I still like TSH to win the series. Just based on some of the things I was talking about with, I don't really see how their comp synergizes. I will agree with you. Feel like on a player-to-player, matchup-to-matchup basis across the series, TSH probably has the advantage. But I also think we just have a lot of unknowns. Some of the new players with sub tonight could go anyway. I do think also note to production, the names in the top scoreboard thing up top, they TCL for both. So get those updated. I'm excited to see some of this with Speedy in the game.
Bot lane avoided the cheese down there that Sugin and Ryoklu were trying to set up.
Yeah, and again, see, they've played together. They know, hey, let's try these cheeky little things, right? They know what to try to pull off to try to get that edge early, but no luck for them. Shout out Speedy's wife if you're watching. I know you always watch Speedy's games, so I'm sure we know who she's rooting for this evening.
Speedy wife Dito is always in the chat to support Speedy, which is awesome.
Anything you're seeing here early, itemization, sums, anything like that, that jump out at you? I'm not seeing anything really too much. First strike on the Corki feels probably pretty normal. All pretty bog standard stuff. Double ignite bot lane, taking the cleanse on the Corki. Probably.
I mean, the only thing I'll note is that Jax and Karthus both started on the same side. Which is going to lead them to that bot scuttle together, or that potential bot lane gank. But like I said, chances are Karthus isn't going to really want a part of that. Karthus does clear much faster than Jax, though.
Right. Maybe the fight will show up at scuttle, maybe. But Karthus can get there fast enough. Not sure. I would like to see. We see an early lead here. Jazz. That's confusing. Jazz getting a little bit of an early CS lead. I think he's probably got an advantage early. Certainly in CS he does, but in the champ matchup, it's probably pretty close to even, but maybe favor Jazz. But of course, Autopsy plays an absolute load of Urgot, right? I don't know if we've talked all that much about his Urgot pick. That's a bog standard pick of his that he always seems to perform on. Speaking of, we see a little invade here from Karthus.
Here's that Karthus invade.
Is he in trouble? I'm not sure. Is he safe? It's unclear. Galio's joining the fight. Control coming in. I think we're going to see Black Hole go into a black hole and go down. He just escapes with a flash. Ryoklu gets really low. Coach, kind of low. Sugin is in trouble. He's going and he flashes in. Coach, super low. Coach goes down, but he's still throwing out the Huge. Yeah, first blood. Sugin makes it out. I think we're going to see Varel go down. Right? We're definitely going to see him go down. Okay, there it is. Speedy with the kill. 1-for-1 trade, but first blood over the red side. Wow. A lot of people making it out with 10-20% health there. That was a close one. Any thoughts on that one there, Spurg?
I mean, honestly, like I think the clear like winner in that skirmish was.
The skirmish might not be over here. We see some diving going on. They still want it, maybe.
That I think.
Speedy's in trouble here, maybe.
Has to leave where it is. This is a dangerous dive. Your mid laner's losing a bunch of waves. And yeah, like you saw there where Team Yap was like. Was very much ahead in that because they have that CC.
More exchange. That's going to be a death there. Huge. What? No clue. What are you doing? Why did you just face check the bush? Oh no. We do see Black Hole trying to sneak down here for a cheeky gank. I think he's pretty well positioned for this. Speedy does have flash and cleanse for the escape. Galio's maybe going to eat a taunt. Oh, Galio goes in for a kill. Galio does not care. King, hello, King. Makes it out. Speaking of King, he is the King. Black Hole, I don't think you're going to get anything out of that. And somehow they both survive and they kill Jin. Okay.
Yeah, they got that cleanse out of Speedy though with that Jax E stun. That was great cleanse by Speedy there, unless he missed it, which he might have. I have to go back.
But it still reduces the stun length. It still gives you tenacity.
Yeah, I think he did it early, but yeah, it still greatly reduces the stun length, but not like it mattered. I don't think he was gonna die.
Control in big trouble here. Does have flash. Okay, is fine. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, that like I said, that fear out of Hui prevents pretty much all ganks from a champion like Jax. As long as he's not caught in the baby cage prior to Jax getting on him, he's going to be pretty safe in that lane. It's hard for them to gank him.
And you had mentioned, TSH is losing, farm in their mid lane as Vygar was pushing in. Not really. He's got a CS lead still. So doesn't matter, doesn't care, still CSing well when he is in lane. Pushed the wave in before he left, so he probably lost maybe one wave, but landing the CS on the rest, and he's still quite ahead. He's got the assist. Vygar does not. He's only got a death. Control looking to try to get control of mid lane here. Makes it out safe. Baby cage goes down. Doesn't find anybody. Control just stepping right up. Doesn't care. Wants to throw out some spells, pick up some CS, and put down some damage.
Yeah, and you see Speedy here opting for the Triforce build on the Corki, which is it's one of the two builds, because right now you can either go the Lethality or the Triforce build. I've seen much more recently the Lethality build being the route people are going.
So Drake is going down uncontested. Jazz does not have flash. Jazz is almost certainly going to go down here. Oh yeah, absolutely. Goodbye. Who's the kill going to go to? Right? Who's the kill going to go to?
The ult.
Who's the kill going to go to? Ah! Wow. Yeah, the ult. Good call on that. What did Autopsy ult early there? What happened? I don't know how. That should be Urgot all day, every day getting that kill, but
yeah, especially Jazz not having flash and only having Ghost there. I don't know what happened to his ult. I want to go back and actually watch that again.
He probably just threw it on early for a little damage, assuming he'll get below a certain health threshold, and then didn't. I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you see as you scrub back through the timeline. Not a whole lot going on elsewhere. We briefly touched on it there, but TSH securing the first Drake uncontested, trying to get the neutral objectives rolling there. Coach picks up blue buff. That'll help him absolutely just continue to farm like a madman. He's got 51 CS to the Jax 33. I don't know the gold diff, but it's got to be pretty decent considering he's got an assist. He does have the death though. Little exchange back and forth in bot lane. Not a lot to do there. Just explain.
Yeah, Autopsy just ulted early to help Black Hole get to the Urgot.
And then it must have faded right before.
Yeah, definitely faded before that that kill percent came about, which is pretty unfortunate for them. I mean, you see here that like Karthus is level 6 now though. Has a level over the Jax, has 20 CS lead over the Jax. And it's just going to snowball from here.
Yeah, they just have priority in top lane. So Coach gets pushed out of the grubs, but then goes right back in with the help of Jazz to secure. I assume they're going to get all of these for some big push pressure, which if you've got a Trundle, tower push pressure is a little scary. Gold's quite even in the top lane. So I'm not super afraid that Jazz is just going to start snowballing and pushing towers yet, but we know it can happen. Control is a pretty decent, considering how early we are. Gold lead in the mid lane. We see Speedy's Corki 2-0 doing pretty darn well as well. So slight edge right now to TSH and in terms of the pocketbooks. Speedy pushing in, getting the plate, continuing that trend of trying to get just a little bit ahead in gold to try to get another item or two to hit that break point just a minute earlier on that back for the next neutral objective. Speedy does have package, yes, right?
A package is actually no longer in the game, Jbob. With the ADC rework and the item rework that came with the recent patch, Corki is now no longer does magic damage and no longer has the package.
Galio going in here. I think they're looking. Oh, they missed the W. Speedy's potentially in trouble. Does have cleanse and flash. Galio still fighting. Huge ult. Galio saves Speedy. He goes down. Karthus ult coming down. Karma probably escapes here. But wow, Sugan absolutely going in way too deep. Speedy does still die though. I didn't see what.
He died
finished
to
him.
that fourth auto by Jin there as
snuck
the
it
Jin
in.
went down as well.
All right. So
Jazz winning a huge trade up top though. This is probably going to be a 2 plates.
Autopsy does not
Jazz.
have TP either, so he's going to absolutely push that. Get a couple plates, get that money going further in their favor. Control still sitting mid, comfortably farming, pushing as quick as he can. I'm gonna guess he maybe goes back after this.
Looks like they really want control here, and they might get him. Black Hole Sun's in a good position here. Fear used, so he has the opportunity to stun, and
It's him with the
does
slow
have flash though. So.
He flashes into it. He's gonna go down there. Okay,
Great
Rail
flash
lands
follow there by Black Hole to get that stun.
That was huge. So we do see Autopsy leaving lane now. Okay, interesting. We thought there'd be more Trundle pressure there in top lane, and it didn't really materialize. Not sure if we missed a plate or two going down there, but yeah, we have. Okay, coach wants to scrap a little bit, but
how do you feel about the lack of flash on the Karthus, so that as we progress through this game?
Well, hold on a second, because that exhaust might have been pretty helpful there and scares him away. Jazz going in, looking to fight. I don't know if they land a kill here. Jazz doesn't care. Coach going
no
maybe
pillar, no slow field. So.
Okay, lots of kills are going to happen here. Jazz goes down. Jazz almost escapes there. Just a couple HP too short to survive that tower shot. To answer your question, the no flash on Karthus. Probably. I mean, I would have said that's a huge risk early game, but it hasn't really been a big problem. Galio goes in, big taunt, lands the E. Sugan's going to escape. Control's going to come in, do some damage. I don't think they're going to get real clue, and Jin's ult's going to scare him away. Not going to get any kills, just sort of, poke out a little damage, get a couple CS.
Fantastic roam by Control, though. Using, his power in the mid lane right now to get those waves pushed in, so he could just sort of run around and do whatever he'd like. Oh, Control lands that kill.
Oh, all right. I missed it. I was looking on my other screen, looking at Vrail pushing mid, getting a couple plates here. Yeah, it's just a snipe snout. You always got to be careful. The way with range is just absolutely otherworldly. Vrail is okay, I guess. All right, and they're just going to push out mid wave, and Bob's your uncle. Interested to see when they kind of position here for this Drake. It looks like they're kind of all going to start posturing down there.
Yeah, top laners look to be staying up there. They both do have TP for the rotation, though, and I'm not sure that Autopsy would want to even TP to this. I think he is probably going to tell his team, take if it's free.
No, I don't think he goes for the TP because a pillar will interrupt P, right? So that'd be too risky. Okay, Galio going in the baby cages. Oh my goodness, Real Clue's, I think, getting some serious trouble here still.
Control putting out some serious damage on that way right now.
Yeah, they're just not really landing that pressure because of the fear, right? Just like you said. So we do see them starting to take the Drake here. I don't see a world at all where Jax gets in there and does anything other than die. So they're going to give up the second Drake. Black Hole playing pretty well. I mean, yes, he's down in farm, but he hasn't taken any bad deaths. We do see him going to challenge some Void Grubs here.
Yeah, he doesn't even realize that he didn't even know he was on these. So Autopsy wasn't on the way down. I certainly think he should have been if that was the case. They could have picked up a kill on Jazz had he sort of
the
down.
consolation is they're going to get all the Void Grubs, right? So that's pretty helpful. And if I say the wrong term, anything related to Void Grubs, please correct me. But the little purple guys, they're going to kill them all. That's what we need to know here. So.
Yes, yeah. You're a dad times 2 gamer now, so you don't know about the new Void Grubs since last season when you played.
It's tower pressure, right? Is what it
yes,
is.
Yeah. It adds a stacking damage over time to hitting turrets, and if you get 4 of 6 grubs, you'll spawn little grubs occasionally while you're hitting turrets as well.
So just sort of checking in, state of the game, right? TSH up 2 Drakes, up, call it 2K and some change, up 4 kills. It certainly seems to be going in their favor. We talked about that mid jungle of Wei. Karthus kind of really needed to start shutting it down early, otherwise it could be trouble, and that did not happen, so that's scary. Jazz goes in, slaps him with the club or whatever it is in this skin. Autopsy gonna have to probably clear the wave. Jazz free to roam down and help his team elsewhere.
Yeah, They heard what we said about the game matchup and what our thoughts were on this specific game, and they decided to try and make us eat our words so far. And it looks like they have a commanding lead between objectives and gold, and even look at the kills, and this is going to be a tough one for Yap to come back into. They do have the tools to do it, with that scaling Vygar and that immediate kill damage that you have there, along with a bunch of the CC they've got. But it's going to be a difficult way back for them, especially as you see, Karthus has picked up this Dark Seal. So this game could get out of hand, say the next team fight, Karthus picks up 10 stacks on that.
Galio going in for a taunt. They're feeling the spice flowing through them. They're going to look for an engage. Speedy coming in with some huge damage. Real Clue just barely escapes. Tugin going in. Karthus ult's going to come down, and I think a double kill here. Yep, see ya. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
And there it is. I cast a curse them. I said exactly what would happen, and then the Karthus ult comes in and secures those stacks for his Dark Seal.
Yeah, that's wild. Coach just putting on a clinic here, securing 2 kills, taking the enemy jungle, probably very importantly, taking the enemy blue here. Shout out to King Clover for kind of being the initiator there and enabling Coach to secure those 2 kills. Going in with a huge double taunt, helping out his team. Karthus going the Dark Seal, by the way. I don't even know how long he's had that. He's probably had that a long time, but that will help him if he... It's kind of a crazy item for a Karthus because you should be dying a lot, right? When you go in, and that's not
These days,
happening.
That's not how everybody's playing it.
Got it.
When they're playing it out of the jungle, they're kind of just hyper farming, pressing R to get some
Jazz
kills,
overextends here big time. A little overconfidence. He's almost certainly going to go down. Takes their ult. Control. You're just going to 2v1 him? You're just going to absolutely do it to these guys? All right, he's getting some help from Coach. I think he's still going to kill them both. Galio shows up.
In there.
He says, "What up?" He comes in with the ult, does a little knock up. He just came in for the assist. He's a KDA player. That's all he is.
I mean, a bit of a crisis averted there for Team Shai Halud. I mean, that kill and that turret were huge for them. Not even from a gold standpoint, but likely from a morale standpoint. It was the first small victory they've had here in the last 10 minutes of the game.
We do see just some side towers here being pushed. Control going to take. Yeah, he'll be able to secure that bot tower. They're going to have to back off, actually. They don't get it? Oh, no. Maybe? That's super close. I don't think the minions are going to finish it. That's too bad. That would have been a little bit of gold in their pocket that they would have liked. Yeah, Control takes down the tower up top. More money for him, for his team. Good stuff. We've got the Drake coming up in 40. They're all looking to kind of reset, pick up that new fresh item, right? Freshly acquired, and take it to the Dragon Pit and start trying to work on securing that 3rd Drake.
Yeah, this is truly a feels bad moment here. Unless they can find a pick or force Jazz to TP top and then
Tsugin's absolutely roasted.
Yeah.
Real Clue roasted. I don't even understand what in the world happened there. They just pulled out their frame and dagger and just shoved it into him. That was a little wild. So they're most certainly going to just go take Drake for free. Galio in there with an absolute full duration taunt. Lands the E. Jax, I'm sorry, you're going to go back to the Black Hole Sun, and you're going down. Control trying to put down some damage. I think they're just going to take a step back, grab the Drake, and just go, hang out together, go have some fun, take a big lead. And they're looking for more fights, actually. King, Clover, all right, maybe not. So, interesting. Yeah, free 3rd Drake. It's that they haven't had a contested Drake yet. They've done a good job of, they being TSH, has done a good job of securing a kill or 2, pushing out that priority, and locking in that Drake 3 times in a row now. I can't imagine why anything would change for the next Drake.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it will, at least not at this time. I mean, there are objective bounties coming available soon, and that sort of opens a door for Yap to get back into this. But they can't, make the same mistakes that we just saw there. You can't walk into Vision with overconfidence, sort of forgetting the state of the game and where it's currently at. I mean, their whole team was in that bot side jungle. The whole team of Shai Halud was in Yap's bot side jungle, and they just had no idea that could even be a possibility. And then the jungler walks through the same place and dies again, and that's something we can't have happen. I mean, if that happens one more time, I mean, this game is likely in the bag for Shai Halud.
All right, I'm gonna give you the scenario. Your jungler, we'll say your Jax, right? Your Black Hole. You're over on Yap right now. What are you saying to the squad? What's the plan? Do you start doing bush cheese stuff? Like, what is your strategy to come back here? You're down 5K, give or take, down who knows how many towers and drakes and all this. And what's your win con? What do? Do you start getting cheesy? Do you just start roaming together? How do you see them coming back?
Well, right now, there's no objective up besides Baron, and obviously a ton of turrets for Team Yap to take, and a few out there for Shai Halud. What Yap would need to do here is they need to deny vision in an area, and then 3 or 4 man stack someplace, and get a kill or 2, all in for it. Use all of your ults, take everything, because you need gold, and you need some map priority. And you need to create that by sending some people back to the fountain, so you've got room to farm. You put some of that kill gold in your pocket, and Shai Halud's doing a really good job of denying that possibility, though, by they have incredible vision going on right now. They're not overextending, which is the things you rely on, especially when you're playing solo queue, is you're relying on that person, your top laner, to sit there in the side lane for 5 minutes without moving, and then you go up there, kill him, collect that gold. And now you got a 5v4 somewhere else on the map.
Just shout out, speaking of top lane, Autopsy is ahead in gold. He's ahead in CS. He's equal in towers in his lane. He's the shining light right now, if you will, of the team. Obviously not shining all that brightly, just maybe 1,000 lumens, we'll say. But Black Hole Sun is able to leap away and make it to safety there. But yeah, just a shout out to Autopsy for holding his own in the lane against a tough matchup for sure, while some other shenanigans are going around on the map that he's not been part of. He's been doing his part up in the top lane, trying to hold it down.
Here comes the Karth Assault.
Huge Karth Assault. Sugan is gonna rot. Yep, Real Clue does flash away from the taunt. There's probably a pillar coming quite soon. Nope, just kidding. Walks away. Real Clue, I don't know why you're trying to back right there. That's pretty bold. They do secure the tower, more gold in their pockets. We have a minute and a half-ish for the next Drake. Looks like TSH gonna enjoy their sandstorm of gold in their pockets and gonna back up, buy a couple items and vision and secure some more vision. The Dark Seal is stacked at 10. Karthus, he's ready to just absolutely slap.
Likely, I think that'll be his next purchase, is upgrading that one into the Magi's. I mean, you saw there, the power of those double burn items, and for yourself, for your own information, Jbob, that's a new item there that you see on Hui and on Karthus, which is it's the Blackfire Torch, provides a burn, similar to like a Leandri's Might, though the item does provide a lot of AP as well, and on that Karth Assault, a lot of damage.
All right, we see a little action here. Jazz is able to walk away. I guess so. They all kind of respect each other. Steps back. Going to continue to push the farm, heal back up with his W in that area. Clears the wave, no problem. Sorry, Jax. Black Hole is going to back. Maybe not. Drake coming up in about 30 seconds. Are they just going to give the Drake? I feel like. Do you just say here if you're Yap, guys, we're all inning. If we lose at the next Drake,
I think what they have to do, if Shai Halud allows them to do this, is you just set Trundle up in that top lane. You let him just push to your inhib and take it, and you try to take a 5v4 somewhere else, and you pray that you win it. If you lose it, the game's over. But if you win it, you've got a chance to get back in. Yeah, you're down in inhib, but maybe you got that Drake. Maybe you picked up 4 or 5 kills. But outside of that, I mean, they're going to have a really, really hard time taking a straight-up 5v5 unless there's some mispositioning.
So they're not listening to you. They're going for a straight 5v5. Jazz is here. None of that split lane shenanigans. Big Galio taunt incoming. Is going to pick up Real Clue. She's absolutely dead. Black Hole goes in, gets a 3 or 4 man stun. A huge stun, but just can't survive. TSH way too healthy right now. Vrail almost gets caught out by a Corky Rocket. Has to flash the way. Karth Assault, I don't know if it's going to pick up any kills here, but boy, okay, there it is. Control, absolutely pokes down. My God, the range, the magic damage range. They did it again, Spurg. 4th time, take fights, kill a couple people, free Drake. There it is. 4th time's the charm.
It's tough. I mean, that's a Drake I think you just have to give up, and it feels really bad, but you're not really in any position unless you can get there early, deny vision, set up your own, and maybe get a pick. If you weren't able to do that, don't bother trying to fight, especially into the fog of your own jungle where they already have their vision set up. And I mean, you can count on them having their vision set up there. I mean, they've done it all game. You know, you saw the last time they got caught in their jungle. So you know they're gonna have their vision there, and you know you're just walking into trouble as we saw. You know, Ryoklu got herself into trouble there, and you know maybe that's recoverable if the game state's different. But right now, you know they're down 10,000 gold, so you can't take a fight unless it's sort of an obvious advantage.
Yeah, in the thing I posed you earlier, right? Of what's the comeback strategy here? I'm a little worried that even if they like perfectly, you know, holy cow, execute on everything we talked about and then some, that they're just so far in the hole that there's not a chance that they can do anything about it. So a little worried. PSH, yeah, just continues the pressure. Free Baron, no, nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are objective bounties out on the board for Yap. There's a lot of shutdowns available out there on both the mid, the bot, and on Coach on that Karthus jungle. But even if they were to team ace, you know, a 5-0 and take a turret, they'll still be down 5.5, 6,000 gold. So they could, if that were to happen, it would open potentially a door for that comeback. But I just think that that's very far-fetched at this point, especially with how well Shai Halud's been playing. They've been in control the whole time. They haven't made any silly mistakes. There's been no getting caught. You know, they're doing a really good job, and you know, sort of playing as a team and having that vision set up for all their plays.
Jazz, I think, could probably just fight Fist Under Tower and take him out. Yeah, I think he's going to do that. Oh my god, is he ever going to do that? Karthus ult just for fun, not going to secure any kills, but where I think Spurg, you can pretend we're at New Year's Eve and the ball is dropping. I don't think we've got a lot of time left in this game, my guess.
Yeah, just like so far, dominant by Team Shai Halud. It's been incredible. All lanes won. Jungler is enormous, being on that Karthus, able to turbo farm. You know, no real pressure that he even needed to apply. I mean, he was there for ganks, which, you know, as a Karthus is saying a lot. And he didn't have to do much, and it just seemed like individual efforts by everyone were just superior to Team Yap in this game.
They do back off. Gotta be honest, I thought they would just end it.
Well, Jbob, you must remember, this is TCL. Games cannot end prior to 30 minutes. You know, as per Abarn's stipulations.
Well, it's in the contracts,
he needs
right?
that ad revenue.
Yeah, it's in the contracts. I understand. The sponsors won't re-sign. They just won't stand for it. So they do need to have the 30-plus minute. You know, as many Elder Drakes as you can get, all that fun stuff. Jin's all coming down. This is probably the final stand here in the desert. The sandstorms, the worms are coming up. We see a big root going down. Vrael is able to not make it out. I'm pretty sure he's going to get smoked here. Goodbye. This is the beginning of the end. They're going to push. They've got the Baron. They've got the Grubs. They've got way too much money, way too many items. They eat us slow. Sugan getting in there, trying to poke. Galio's going to catch a taunt, and there we got. Goodbye. Hello, Karthus ult. That's going to do some damage. Turret, turret, turret. Hit the Nexus so you can collect the 50 gold. Jax goes in, wants to do a little dance, but it doesn't really matter. There it is. First game. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, and we were so wrong. You know, I think we were both worried about what happens if Shai Halud were to go down in gold and experience, and clearly they weren't worried about it because it didn't happen. Not for a single moment of that game were they down in gold or experience. You know, just a dominant performance.
Yeah, I think that bot lane, the Jhin Karma should have been able to put a little more pressure on. The Hui Karthus should have been susceptible to pressure as well, but they held even and/or kind of got a lead early in every lane, except maybe top. But top was sort of a wash. Yeah, we.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, top being a wash, but you know, Trundle can 1v1 Urgot at almost every stage of the game. You know, if he's able to get close to him, especially once you know Trundle gets 2 items, kind of becomes difficult for Urgot to play against him. So, with all that being said, and that game concluding, you know, with a very, you know, convincing Shai Halud victory, who do you think won MVP for that game?
Is that what we're doing? We're calling game 1 MVPs now?
Yeah, I would like to. I would like to shy away from, the series MVP is one thing. I want to do a game-to-game MVP because I think it's worth something. Because you could have 3 different MVPs, and then at the end of the series, I think it could be a completely different person. Somebody who performed, outstanding throughout the whole series.
So yeah, I'm of sort of 3 minds. My 3 candidates there being Coach, Control, and honestly King. Like King Clover enabled so much there, right? Obviously, you're a support, top of the damage chart or anything like that, but his kill participation is very solid. We see him got a number of 2-3 person taunts there to absolutely secure it. Big knockups to save some team members early on. But I think I got to give it to Coach. He should have fallen behind earlier, I think, and just didn't. Just farmed like a madman. Did super well. Kept that dark. Kept the ring topped off with the 10 stacks there for a long time. Obviously, Control, a huge performance from him. But I guess I'll give it to Coach. How about you, Spurg?
Yeah, I do agree with you. Coach and King Clover, I think both had standout performances. Both their first match, ever in TCL. Obviously the jitters we spoke about at the beginning were not present. They performed very well, but I would say I would give this one to Control. I think he absorbed a ton of ganks. He was roaming to the bot lane, picking up kills. He obviously, as we can see by the damage graph, he was really pumping out the damage there. He was preventing that Jax engage, which was really all that Yap had available to them as far as to start a fight with those fears. I just think there's something to be said about playing the mid lane. You have the opportunity to sort of influence the map more. But I think Control made the most of that in this game.
All right. Despite what chat's saying, I think we're giving it to Control there. But I mean, maybe we give it to co-MVPs, to Coach and Control. It's just.
I mean, it's me in the. It's me in the chat want Control, so we'll give game 1 to Control.
What do you mean, chat? I'm seeing a bunch of people in chat saying Coach and Clover. Anyway, so with that, we're gonna take a short break. Everybody, call your mom, tell them you love them, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes. Welcome back to game number 2, Shai Halud versus Yap versus the Hippos. That one, normally it's the Hippos doing the chomping. This time it was the sandworms, the popcorn buckety things, taking out the Yappapotomi, hippopotamus, whatever. Yeah, that was tough. Again, we need to see that earlier pressure from Yap, I think, to be able to swing it. They can't just let them get so far ahead and just run off, get a bunch of CS, get some easy, get some early Drakes, aka all of the Drakes. Yeah, any thoughts there after the break, Spurg, on how that first one went?
Yeah, I mean, like as you said, Yap gave him an inch there with that early fight bot lane and that 4v4 we saw down there. They gave him an inch, and Shai Halud took a mile. They took a very, very small lead that they got off of that fight, and they just turned it into wins all across the map. I mean, especially you look at that bot lane and the kills they were able to secure with that galley of support and Speedy on that Corki, and they just had the CC, they had the damage, and they were convincingly winning the 2v2. And even as we saw when that gank came in from that Jax, they still turned around, got a kill out of it, and made it out without having to use that Corki flash, which he didn't even have at the time. But if he had it, he wouldn't have had to use it.
Yeah, I think the cleanse came up big, right, on the Corki. Allowed for some nice escapes. Those Karthus ults are beyond massive, of course. Kill after kill, if not just chipping the opponent down before they went for an engage. So if I can, I know we're still working on getting the lead here and all that, but let's sort of shift our focus to game 2. What can the Hippos do? Yap. I don't even know what to weird because I'm
The Yappapotomi, I mean the talking hippos. I don't know what we're supposed to call them. And we had to go over in the pre-series meeting how to say both team names. So did we settle on Yappapotomi?
I think so. Yappers, I saw them referenced as in one of the sheets as well. So anything along those lines I think work. But yeah, do they need to just mix it up? Do they do a similar draft? Just try something different? Do Shai Halud? I'm gonna guess they're cool with running it back. Are they gonna try something even spicier? Saw. What do you think?
Uh, it's hard. I mean, because like you saw, it didn't seem like anybody was playing a pick that they were uncomfortable with, which is usually the place that gets you into trouble in TCL. Is, your captain's like, let's run this sort of comp, let's pick these sorts of champions, and you're on champions who maybe are on your B list and not your A list or your S list. But I mean, we saw Autopsy on the Urgot. We saw Vrail on Vigar, who I know he plays. You know, Jin and Karma are fairly standard AD support combos. It's hard. They need to find some place where they can get a lead earliest. And one thing I think they should do is ban out that Karthus from coach.
Yes.
I think they'd be well to do something like that. Maybe Vrail is calling for the Hui ban as well. I'm curious how they react to this, but I think they need to, especially to sort of rebound mentally from that last game. I think they need to sort of pick some earlier power.
I absolutely 1,000,000% agree. It sucks to blow two bans on one person in some cases, but took out the E. I think makes sense. I don't know why you take out one but leave the other one, right? That was odd. Of these are his two picks. So taking out the Master E, I have to go out and check out my scouting report to see what he picks. Probably if he can't get the E, Umu maybe, Mundo Jungle even, Garner perhaps. But those are his big picks. So I'm not. You gotta target that. Is there anything else you saw there that you felt was super powerful? I mean, Autopsies, like I said, just to back to the shout out to Autopsy for holding his own. Maybe a band that Urgot, since he did do pretty darn well up there in the top. And by the way, we're
I
still
I mean
working on
I
the draft
think
going
that
on.
I think that black hole, especially when we talk about that early power, I think that's where they need to focus initially. I think you need to get him on something that isn't a huge scaler like Jax. Get him on something to influence the lanes earlier. With more gank potential. And
We're back once again. DKing. So they're doing a little draft wall on the side. We're gonna, I guess, like last time, save the fun stuff. You're live. So sorry about that brief little outage there, but you know what? It's an okay break as they're still sifting through draft, locking in those final bands, locking in those final picks. So Spurg, you were saying, I think right before we went down, are we down? Maybe.
I'm not sure exactly where we went down. Are we up? Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are live. Perfect. Thanks everybody for sticking with us through this. I think what we were talking about is, like where Yap needs to make some changes to hopefully, generate, some early advantages across the map. And, we were talking about Black Hole Sun, I think, needs to go something a little more aggressive early. Whether that be aggressively ganking with CC or aggressively ganking or invading of Coach. I'm not sure how Coach will respond to being invaded. Traditionally, a lot of TCL junglers aren't very good at being invaded. Myself being one of those. So I'd be very curious to see sort of how that would pan out for them if Black Hole were to pick something that's strong in the early game.
I'd like to see something, Yap, they really absolutely can dominate that bot. Should they have had the advantage in lane last game? Probably. But they didn't. So let's try again. And I think you got to try to win. Obviously, it's tough, right? You've got the sub being out. It feels like Sugan plays a lot like Luciv in terms of getting in there, right? Which is good to see. But you got to get the lead if you're going to play like that. Can't be 4 kills down and flashing in onto 3 people trying to kill somebody. So I want to see some of that. I want to see, I think to your point, a more team fighty jungler from Black Hole there. Obviously, Jax should have, in theory, been pretty strong into what they were up against, but Didn't work out. Wasn't able to secure on a bunch of those ganks. Got, ate a fear a couple times while trying to run in. With the Corki having the cleanse and the flash, wasn't able to lock anything down there. So, yeah, would like to see some lane prio from Yap. Obviously, you probably aren't going to have lane prio and everything, but try to get it in bot lane if you can. It seems like top lane's pretty even on both sides. No matter what their picks are going to be, is my guess. They're going to kind of trade back and forth, stay pretty close in CS, stay pretty close in money. So try however you possibly can to get that bot lane. I guess you could say rolling, but also just not super far behind. And that's the only way that they can. They're going to get another round of predict chat here.
Yeah, another round of predictions going. That'd be awesome, especially as we get into champ select here. So as Jbob did mention, these teams are doing sort of a pre-official champ select through LoL draft. So when we get into the draft, things are going to move very quickly. So again, you see the Vel'Koz banned out for Vrail and the LeBlanc banned out for Control, who Control's very well known to play at sort of, as we mentioned, there's that Karthus ban, and sticking with the Yi ban as well for Coach.
Yeah, so happy to see that Karthus ban. I guess set. Oh, I guess sorry, it's not really first pick, right? Because they do it in a different way through LoL draft. They're just going through and picking their position, so they don't have to swap around. So we do see that Mundo jungle. I did mention that he could play the Mundo jungle. I guess, right? That was his third pick after Yi and Karthus.
Yeah, I may be out of turn here. I don't like it. But
I don't think you're out of turn. I'm with you.
Black Hole with the Amumu, who if you've been watching TCL for any amount of time, we've actually seen quite a lot of Amumu jungle. It was sort of a specialty of our own Swordmaster at one point. It's very good right now. Amumu jungle is very good right now, especially when you take into account that this is sort of team play with communication. That Amumu ult can set up incredible kills, incredible wombos. It's performing very highly at the moment.
Yeah, and like I said, again, you guys are seeing picking in position, not the way they actually drafted. I'll tell you, and I won't tell you what the picks are yet because you can't see them yet. But Yap did go for their bot lane on their first pick, so they were going along the lines of what I was saying. Yes, this is game 2, by the way, in chat. So we're seeing the Caitlyn come through. Like it, right? We wanted a strong lane. Caitlyn's good. I think what we're going to
Caitlyn's great in lane. She gets 3-4 items. She'll one-shot Lux with a headshot potentially, depending on the state of the game. Could even potentially do the same thing to Corki. And I mean, speaking of the Corki, I mean, we've got the same bot lane coming in for Shai Halud. They saw it worked and didn't want to shy away from it.
Didn't want to shy Halud away from it. Absolutely. So yeah, it's interesting. They go for the same. I don't know if it's a comfort pick for these guys, but in terms of the first matchup, you could call it comfort. It worked, right? They were in a lane that they probably should have gotten bullied out of, and they crushed them. So curious to see against the Caitlyn Morgan even stronger lane combo than what they were running last time. If they can put that pressure on, I sure hope so. You hit the bind, you hit the trap, you just absolutely punish whoever you hit. Even if you don't hit that stuff, you just hold it and you just push them back. You don't let them come up in free farm. Yeah, eventually the Corki gets range with his ult, but relatively short range aside from that. And Caitlyn and Morgan are the opposite of that. So interested in that. Top lane, we see the set, we see the Renekton feel sort of even on that matchup. Nothing stands out there. It has a huge difference for me. Rise Lux, I mean, you just can't discount Control, right, at all times. So
Jbob, do you still have it up? Do you know which pick the Morgana was?
I do. It was their second pick. They picked Caitlyn Morgana.
Okay. I mean, it's surprising because but looking at draft here, the Morgana looks like an incredible pick, which is why I was surprised that it was sort of taken so early for Team Yap. That Morgana is very good against that Mundo, Renekton, Galio, and Gage. So you can set up that ult to get stuns on them and slows to maybe prevent some of that CC that way, as well as the Black Shield to keep that Caitlyn safe. You're gonna have an issue with the Mundo passive preventing CC, but outside of that, I think that Morgana pick is perfect for this scenario.
Yeah, black hole, the light binding coming at you, right? The taunt even as well, bot lane. So it should be an unbelievably safe lane for them. Safe, and also they can pressure like crazy.
Yeah.
So
They do need to be careful though for the Lux ganks. I mean, as we saw in that last game, Control is looking to sort of take command of that mid lane and then sort of expand that advantage he has to the other lanes. And he did a very good job of it last game. And Lux clears waves very fast. Ryze also does, so we're gonna have to see how that ends up playing out.
I think Lux earlier, right, is better at clearing, and then
Yeah.
eventually Ryze just gets insane and a couple buttons clears it all too. I like there could be some cheeky, Ryze ult the Morg in right on top of everybody for a big ult or something.
Even the
Morg ult.
Amumu,
Sure.
the Amumu as
Sure.
well. Yeah, I mean, one thing I do see with this draft from sort of both angles is a lack of damage. It looks a lot like a TCL draft, where there's a lot of beef, there's a lot of sustained good damage, but there's not a lot of burst damage outside of say a Caitlyn trap combo and a Lux bind combo. It just seems like there's going to be a lot of just walls of health walking at each other and hopefully trying to take turrets.
Yeah, and you would think Caitlyn with the support of the Morg and the rest of their team should be able to put down some damage on those tanks as they kind of run them down, right? But that is a lot coming their way. So Sugan's going to have some absolute quality positioning to be able to survive and put the hurt down. Going fleet footwork on the Caitlyn, I okay, maybe. Yeah, is that normal? Should we have gone Conqueror there just because you need the tank damage? I'm not sure.
I mean, the only reason I would say that there are other things you could go both press the attack and Conqueror, mostly because fleet just isn't very good right now, and especially with lethal tempo being removed, it's become more difficult for a lot of ADs to really decide. A lot of these, specifically like auto attacking, 4 or 5 item hyper carry kind of ADs. They've had a hard time finding what works the best now because it always was lethal tempo, and none of the other ones are really that great. I mean, you see both supports here going with the ignite. They're looking for the kills. Looks like we
got to pause.
So here.
We have a pause, but let me ask you, Spurg, to pause, and I'm the boomer here. I
can't.
Okay, is that like he just forgot to change his runes from Jax? What's going on there?
Yeah, that could be it. Unfortunately, that could be the case. So I would suspect on the Amumu, you'd go, potentially Comet if you were building some AP. You could go Comet, or you're probably going to go Aftershock. And if you're not going either of those two things, the only thing I think you'd have left is Grasp, potentially, on a tank Amumu.
Feels like there's about 4 better options in Conqueror.
I think there might be 10 better options than Conqueror, to be honest.
Okay, Conqueror. Chat's coming in. I'm gonna interrupt you. Chat's coming in and saying it is a real thing. Okay.
This is the meta. This is truly the meta. Is Conqueror Amumu?
Welcome to League of Legends. Thank you, Rito Game. However many hundreds of years. My God, trolling. We're not trolling. This feels so weird. Okay, you know what? You guys say it's great. You guys say it's meta. Let's see. Prove me wrong. Show me.
I don't know. 8% lifesteal on 0 damage from Amumu seems bad, and we're wrong. I guess it just still seems bad, but it's not. Says Mobalytics. No free ads.
Wow. And solo queue and those sorts of things, win rates are going to be a little different than, we'll call this semi-organized play. Can't give full organized play credit, but yeah. You know what? I'd love to see it. I want to see him just absolutely top the damage charts, crush people, do 1 million damage. That'd be sick.
Yeah, look at the healing. We'll look at the healing charts at the end too. See how well it did.
Yeah, worth. For sure. Yeah, that binding was very close to hitting Speedy. Obviously, Speedy does have the cleanse again, so could have cleansed it if he needed to, but almost getting the early sum out. And we're seeing what we wanted. Kate Morg getting the priority, throwing a binding into nothing. That's unfortunate, but that's what we wanted. More trading here in top lane, just a little back and forth. Set falling a little behind the CS, but not by too much since waves crashing under him. Shouldn't be too bad. Misses a couple there, no big deal. Jazz does get the level 3, but obviously not going to really do gender tower here. Okay.
Junglers are pathing opposite each other this game, so they're not going to meet together at some point. It does look like Black Hole is going to favor topside here, which isn't a bad idea because Renekton's are typically very aggressive. As you can see here, he's got that wave in and comes in and gets that vision down, sees exactly where Mumu is, puts that ward down. He's now super safe.
Yeah, nothing too crazy happening yet. Corki catching up in CS. Corki still low, right? Getting poked down with a little lake of pain there. A little W action. Sugan pushing it. They're gonna attempt at a weird slow push just to crash a big wave maybe, and then go back and pick up an item. Speedy I don't think is too afraid with having cleanse. They're actually looking to gank, but that ward's gonna spot out Coach as he comes in. They're gonna pretend they don't know he's there. Okay.
Yeah, they did show their hand a little bit, so I'm sure that Coach sort of realized what was going on. It looks like there's a fight at the scuttle though.
Well, we'll see that in a moment.
Looks like
maybe.
Looks like a Mumu was able to secure the scuttle, but Coach is headed mid.
Okay, gonna put down a little damage on Vrail, but he's fine. Autopsy gets a little lower than you'd like, so he's gonna back up. He's gonna TP back to lane most likely. Yeah, mid lane pretty even on CS. Lux pushing a little bit. Rise responding pretty well. Bot lane continues. We're just real cool putting a little damage down on the Corki, trying to make Speedy have to back. He could real cool thinking of the binding there, but no chance in follow up. Would have liked to see at least an attempt to try to pull out that cleanse, that flash, but doesn't go for it.
Autopsy's laying down some pretty good damage on Jazz up there.
Not going to secure the kill, so we saw Autopsy go back and have to TP, so he did have slight item advantage there. Jazz is going to do the same, come back with, I would bet, probably similar items.
Surprising to me here is Black Hole opting out of the full clear first time around. Usually, XP is something you want to prioritize, at least until level 6 on a Mumu. But instead he tried to head bot, and maybe that was to secure a potential dive. But it looked like, Coach sort of cut him off at the pass, and they ended up fighting over that scuttle.
Yeah, you're catching some shade in the chat by someone. Won't say his name. Unlucky. Galio gonna have to slide away. That binding goes absolutely east by a mile. But all good. Ryoko running a little low on mana, so she can't just throw out binding after binding after binding. Does need to be a little conservative there. Jazz going in, eating in, sidesteps it for some reason. Autopsy will be all right, but scary there. Doesn't throw out the W to even get any free damage in or anything. Yeah, good work by Jazz there to put some pressure on. Even CS, but big health diff there.
Yeah. I mean, Autopsy's sort of going to be zoned off that wave until it gets into his turret now.
So, yes, Caitlyn's nicely ahead in CS and about to catch this wave. That's great, but they're under their own tower. So I don't think that's what we wanted. I guess they're not dying, so that's good, but I think we wanted to see them try to pick up some kills, right? We wanted to see some initiative, some action. Bot lane has not had to use a single sum. Vrail is in trouble here. Troll shoots it just a little wide with the light binding. Vrail probably okay, but a little scary. We do see, Galio flash taunt. Not even necessary. Doesn't get the assist. Unlucky. Troll finishes him. Crashes the wave.
A solo bolo with a cheerlead by King Clover there. Black Hole's in a very precarious position now, surrounded by 3 enemies, on the grubs.
What is he doing? Guys, Conqueror will save him here. I've been told it will save him. I was lied to. It didn't. Okay. Control picks up his second kill. Awesome work. Grub's going to go to Shai Halud. And holy Shai Halud, that is a big lead they're picking up early.
We're seeing Control, sort of flex again in the mid lane this game, and I'm curious when that's going to make its way to the bot lane to secure, you know, a double kill with that Lux Bind ult combination.
That would be a good time. We do see, again, Jazz continuing the pressure on Autopsy. Autopsy not really able to respond with a whole lot of damage of his own. Jazz, I don't think, can do anything to the turret. Can't get a plate. Nothing there. Black Hole taking the red for himself because he has Conqueror, I guess. And I agree. Let's get that Lux in bot lane. You see Control does have the Dark Seal already. No stacks yet. Just got it. Yes, get that to 10 stacks by the 15-minute mark is my guess.
I don't think we're going to see a kill for Yap until that Amumu gets level 6. So I can't see how close he is.
Autopsy? Okay.
But I think we're going to be waiting for that time, and I think they'd be good to wait till that time as well. Looks like he did just hit 6, and there might be a fight around this dragon.
Just calling out. Yep, picking up the Drake. Good for them. Big time. Hits the Conqueror ult. Big flashes out. It's not really going to do anything for you. Lux ult doesn't finish the kill. Real Clue does flash away. Is probably okay, but the meat cleaver is coming for her face. She's not okay. I absolutely lied to you. I'm sorry. Yep, Control finishes it. They've got 4 in the bot lane. Are they going to push for a plate or 2? I would guess so. Does that count? Spurg is what you wanted? Control going to the bot lane? I mean, kind of, maybe, sort of.
I mean, he was there. You know, he helped secure some of those kills, and you know that was just a positioning diff there. I think the moment you take that dragon, you kill it. I think you have to just, you know, walk south to that bot lane, get out of there as fast as possible. You know, they were outnumbered. They were outnumbered because Vrail was sort of shut down early, and not able to be in that fight.
So Vrail trying to crash a big wave, well, a standard wave, and make Control lose some CS. Doesn't, because he's there, but does pick up a plate as a small consolation prize. See the Dark Steel stack already, working his way up towards that 10 by 15 that I'm predicting. And yes, Caitlyn is up comfortably on CS, but Corki has the assist, so a little bit of an offset there. Yeah, I think we were hoping for some kills, or at least pulling some sums from the speedy Clover side. Gonna get pressured by Ryuklu Sugan. It has absolutely not happened. Clover's just roamed and been part of 2 kills, and Morg has died. Okay, big scrap. The Crocodile Dundee is punching the Boxer.
With Black Hole's on the way with that ult.
Oh boy, Conqueror's to the right and misses, so that's no good. That's unlucky. Jazz wants to fight. That's a little bold there, Jazz. Does decide to back off. And I said the word back off, but then he goes in and gets it. A
great solo bolo by Jazz, even with Black Hole waiting in the wings there.
Yeah, just doesn't care. And I think if, Black Hole took that fight there, Jazz came out. So, Jazz gonna go for plates here, maybe? No, but either way, denying a bunch of CS to Autopsy.
Yep, has that advantage in that bot lane, but they're not able to flex it. Everything's just so dangerous for them. Because look at what King Clover and Coach are doing to this Caitlyn right now.
Sugan is putting down good damage though. Give him credit where it's due. Will it matter when he's dead? Probably not. But Speedy does get the tower. Okay, great flash there. He's gonna soak up the ult. Okay, good work, Sugan. You were probably dead to rights there and found a way to get out of there. Could it have been because Speedy took tower aggro for no reason? It could have been. But I'm gonna stand with Speedy, just like Speedy wife Dito does, and say that it's not Speedy's fault. It was somebody else's fault for not taking tower aggro first.
Yeah. Interesting development in the mid lane. Vrail down 0-1, just a few CS. You know, there's a pretty considerable gold difference right now on the side of Control. You know, he's got the clear advantage. Vrail builds a Dark Seal. What are your thoughts?
You heard me moments ago saying, oh no. And it wasn't just because I saw Black Hole go in to get the grubs. It was because I saw the Dark Seal. You got the Rod of Ages, the Dark Seal, the tier. Is there a name? Can we call this like stacking trifecta or something? Conqueror is out for the big fight. Ult's one person, doesn't really matter. I see a Heartsteel stack coming in here pretty soon. Big slam-a-lama ding-dong from the set, but not enough. Goodbye Amumu. Goodbye set. Goodbye Black. Oh my goodness. Gets a little damage in, but no harm, no foul. Whoopsie. Holy Shai Halud on that one. bad times. They're gonna go get the Void Grubs and have more.
Yeah, again, a bit overzealous by Black Hole. Just giving them an opening.
Okay, we do see a fight here. Black Shield goes down. Taunt is not going to get on the Caitlyn. Galio's in trouble here. I think Galio's going to go down. Will Ryoklu die? No, I don't think she will from that Ignite. So
very well played by them to really commit to that fight after King Clover came in on the backside.
That's what we've been asking for all along. Yeah, that's a little bit of the item diff too, right? The BF sword, the pickaxe. Rail does flash the Lux ult. I think it probably would have killed, but if not, it would have been super close. But still in trouble here. Still getting poked down. Has to clear the wave. Is certainly going to have to back up. Does have TP to get to the lane though. So good for him. Control probably just going to push one more wave and also back himself. So I was saying, can we come up with a fun trifecta name for the Rod of Ages, Tier, Darksteel trio? Like, what do we got there?
I don't think those items ever get built together.
The full house? I don't know what to call it.
Tier,
double?
Rod of Ages, both, sort of scaling, stacking items. Darksteel, not really a scaling item. You build it when you're strong, because you're strong.
But it scales, right? It's a
you're
thing
not
that...
strong.
Okay, well, Black Hole Sun's going to take a Conqueror ult to the face. Does get the Black Shield to try to live, but is absolutely conquered by the Sandworms, and it goes down Vrail. Looking to scrap, but that Heartsteel stack's going to hurt. Coach is going to slow him with a big hatchet to the face. Control's going to ult him. Doesn't matter. Galio Q for the kill? Nope. Okay. Cleavers him in the head. Goodbye. The binding lands. No, nothing happens there. Ryoklu is going to take a little more damage from Control. Wow, Control. Hello. Almost gets the kill.
Yap's just having a really hard time getting through this Mundo, even this early. They just don't have any damage. Amumu, low damage, and obviously behind a bit. Vrail's behind and on a very much a scaling mid-mage. And then you've got Morgana, who, simply, at most points in the game is just a bind. Bind and a Black Shield. Doesn't really provide much else. There's just no damage for them to hit Coach. He's just walking at them.
I'm worried, Spurg. They've got a 6k gold lead. They just picked up a Drake. Not that they'll even need to start stacking. I don't know if it's going to go that long. Yeah, the Amumu full AP with the Conqueror. I guess he wanted to do damage for the Conqueror. Okay. Weird champ.
It wouldn't be nearly as weird, if the game were different right now. If Amumu and Mundo were even, it would provide, a lot of good damage for him to sort of stand toe-to-toe with that Mundo. But because he's behind, it makes the Amumu feel a little more useless. Because you're damaged, you're not tanky. As we saw in that Grub fight, he had to ult just to live. Yeah.
Jazz is looking to put down a little hurt in here. He is up quite a bit on the CS front and killing assist. Okay, the Mumu ult goes down. Vrail coming in, big damage. Control, they're trying to get Control. Galio ult's going to come down. Control flashes away, but still goes down. Black Hole Sun does have that Conqueror stack, but is still, I think, going to get roasted. Oh, goodbye, Vrail. Doesn't ult with his teammate in there and says, see you later, nerd.
Yeah, very smart by Vrail to just say goodbye to Black Hole and get the heck out of there. Potentially Black Hole could have hopped in there if he could have gotten between CCs, but he didn't have flash, so there's almost no chance of that happening. They picked up a kill.
They got Control. That's huge.
They took a small victory. They took a shutdown. They got it onto the
Magi
rise.
stack, right? The Magi stack.
Yeah, the Darksteel stacks.
700 IQ. They went for the right guy. They got him. Maybe just barely, but they did it anyway. It was probably worth trading a life or two, and they did it. So, hooray. Now, obviously, Control is still strong. A little less strong. Can they somehow assert that, get a second kill? Try to get just someone rolling. We do see Kate with sizable CS lead, has the kill. And any win, any lead, any neutral objective, I think is going to have to come on the back of the bot lane of Sugan and Ryoklu. Dominating, getting some early damage, and being able to kite away from the tanks. We do see Black Hole Sun going in on the Amumu. I'm not exactly sure what the plan is.
It's the Q on him in turret range.
Okay.
Good play by Black Hole there.
Coach does ult, so he's fine. Okay, Autopsy does have flag. Okay, right, there it was. That, of all the things, that was one of them. And does... Yeah, so they just walk away, and they say, just kidding. Was fun to meet you here in the mid lane.
Yeah, Autopsy just wanted something. You know, I think he came all the way
Yeah.
from top lane, saw the AD there, thought he could do more.
Look at that gold diff in top lane, Spurg. That is, it doesn't feel like it should be that big, but it is. That is, and mid as well. But that, I think we expected the mid diff. Top is a little sneaky maybe on how.
Yeah, I mean that's an incredible amount of gold. But that's 5 plates and a turret to Renekton, along with 30 CS, 2 kills and 2 assists. So
Yeah.
I mean, when you start thinking about it, it's adding up to be that much gold. But I mean, you look at 202 to 020, and you don't expect a full item to be the difference there.
All right, I posed the question to you last time. It feels like it's time for it again. If you're the Yappapotomi, if you can't shut your big mouths, what do you do here? Jazz is okay. There may be answering a little bit. You try to catch Jazz, but I think
Yeah, I mean this is exactly what they need to do, but they need more people for it. They need
Yeah.
to sort of give up a large swath of the map to control something small and try to get a pick there.
Okay, we do see Black Hole Sun conquering the red buff, but not enough. He's going to go down. Okay, Ryoklu maybe in trouble here. Control's going to do some big damn. Coach coming in. Ryoklu is nice, gold, and shiny, but she is dead. Coach secures the kill. I think we call it that. Maybe not steal, because we all love Coach, I guess. He's going to go counter jungle even more. Coach, Spurg, this is going to be another tough one. I'm already predicting, and who's our sort of top player of the game and maybe the series, because Coach is giving Control another run for his money.
It's not as dire as, you know, it might look. You know, you have the Kate scaling, who's getting close to that second item. I don't know how much gold she's got in pocket right now, but she's got to be quite close to that second item. You've got the Rise with both of his 2 scaling items, and of course the Dark Seal, just in case. They're going to start to come online soon, you know, within the next 5-10 minutes. But what are they going to lose in the meantime is the big question here. And they did get an early dragon on the side of Team Yap, so they do have a little bit of a timer then that's in their favor.
Spurg, you've got to be joking, because it's a 9k gold diff at 19 I like it's. I mean, come on. Okay, Autopsy again, trying for a big play, gets a little ambitious with it and is rough. So Control misses the light binding. Okay, some good damage down under Control, but they can't really do much more with it. Sugan playing confidently in terms of positioning, understands the game's on his back to try to come back, but nothing happening there.
Yes, they are down 8,000 gold or 7,000 gold now at this point, but they do have win cons. It's just they need Team Shai Halud to open the door for them, which they may not do, but it's in their best interest to, you know, at least try to find one of those doors.
Yeah, I suppose. We'll see, right?
It is a bit out of reach right now, but they do have scaling on their side if the game were to go the TCL Classic 45-50 minutes.
Again, the Abarn's contracts do stipulate that it has to go nearly that long, so very likely to happen, right? No doubt about it. There is still a chance on the side of Yap for some sort of Wombo combo, right? A Mumu Morg alt combo where everybody's just locked down and getting smoked by the Kate and the Rise in the meantime. But man,
they have such an advantage right now on Shai Halud. I think that they need to sort of force a position, force a position within their jungle. Deny them everything. Don't let them CS in their jungle. If they want to CS, they need to do it under their tier 2 turrets and nowhere else.
So Jazz and Vrail are going at it. I don't think Vrail wins that, but I don't think. I mean, he definitely does.
No heel cut on Vrail.
Oh,
obviously.
Nice flash from Vrail. Jazz is actually going to go down here. He didn't use his W to shield break the Vrail, by the way. Would have liked to have seen that.
I was hoping Black Hole wouldn't use the ult there and potentially save it for...
He's conquering the lane. Here comes a big Galio taunt. Vrail's going to get roasted. Black Hole does have to flash away. Gets a black shield just for extra safety. Okay, they're probably going to put some good damage down on this turret. Drake still not for another 2 minutes. Yeah, I think they just put some turret pressure down here. We do see the Mundo is about to smash the tower. There it is. That's a free tower. Yikes. That Amumu ult maybe should have been held. But there it is.
Yeah, but it's on the other side of that. It's you take what you can get, blow everything to get it. You know, especially when you're down. You know, by a margin like this. So I absolutely understand the use of it in that case. You know.
Yeah.
Who knows who was coming out of that bush? You need to make sure you lock that kill up instantly.
But that's because they don't have the vision, right? So
yeah.
That's the difference. All right, Sugan. Okay, big black shield. Okay, Mundo, you're a little in trouble, but does have the ult. Does have the healing coach. Maybe makes it out. Autopsy goes in. Autopsy gets the shutdown. 700 gold shutdown. You love to see it. Like a good neighbor. Autopsy was there. Wow. Okay, control maybe a little overextended. Bandage toss in there. Oh, if only he had ult there. Oh my goodness. Okay, Rail is gonna drop. Autopsy's probably making it out. Goodbye, Black Hole Sun. Won't you come back to the
wallet diff. The wallet diff pushed out that Kate, killed that Morg almost immediately upon the start of that fight, and then what was a good engage with the Amumu had he had ult turns into them getting 0-3'd.
That was so brutal. But that would have been the Wombo moment that Legends
or sorry 1-3
about.
They did get the Mundo.
That would have been the Wombo wanted, that we asked for, that we really asked for Christmas, and it didn't come. So wow, they're bleeding more money. Well, it's actually about the same difference. It's still in the 9K realm. So I guess that's okay. We do see the Drake coming here in 30 seconds. Speedy trying to secure some vision for the team. I have to imagine, Yap just sort of gives this up. I don't know why you would fight for third Drake at this point when you're this far down, but I would like to see Autopsy up top or something, trying to get a tower in. They do catch Galio with the bind into the Caitlyn trap. Big damage, but he's just okay. Huge headshot. Wow. All right. We Amumu ult the Mundo, which is interesting. Okay, this is a huge turn. Big damage down. Jazz is gonna go down. Can Autopsy live? He can. Okay, has to flash it. Okay, there it was. That was it, Spurg. The 3 for nothing. And the Drake is coming up.
Kate just doing so. That's Corky's gonna die. Oh, so.
Oh, he's still dead. I think he's still dead. There he goes. Can control 1v5. Literal 1v5. Absolute goat. Chad champion. He can do it. No. Oh, okay. Oh, huge black shield gets him. That is outstanding. Vrail coming in. Goodbye. Wow. Holy moly. Okay.
Just a few missteps, and the
what just happened?
Pay for it. I know that there's been some discourse in the chat about this collector build, but clearly we saw there it did its job.
Was that a headshot with collector? What?
It killed that Galio with that collector headshot. It does immense damage to that Lux and Corky, who are really the people you're worried about. And it also does a great deal of damage to Renekton, who only has tabbies, or whatever tabbies are called now, as his only armor item.
I mean, the TSH betters, the predictors in chat are in shambles maybe after seeing that. Like, was that a fluke? I mean, they were all there, right? It was just.
And let's not get it twisted. They're still down 5,000 gold, but it was it
was 9,000 10 seconds ago.
It was a huge influx of gold, and more importantly, like experience. And they got a Drake, and sort of they've given themselves more time to make more of those plays now before things get truly out of hand.
Holy moly. Okay, so just sort of again taking a check of the state of affairs. Bot lane is, we'll call it, pretty close to even in terms of gold, but the top, mid, top, jungle, that's where the big differences are right now in the wallets. But it's that opportunity, that possibility of the team womboing. Black Hole, okay, I thought he was maybe going to go, but probably wisely doesn't. Is going to take a good chunk of damage here because he's building AP and not tank, so he's half health from 2 abilities.
And they're in a tough spot. This could be like a reset.
Did they go for Baron? Did they calling for it? It's a little bold, I'd say. Especially the Mumu does eat some little globules there, picks up some health.
If did they see Rise down in that bot lane with that Farsight?
maybe Rise does have the TP to join. Obviously, he's waddling up. Okay, big Mumu ult. Flashes out to safety. Sugan is getting chased down by the Mundo, but putting down big damage. Autopsy, even through the W, still dies. Real clue. You're in there.
Oh, that blast cone. Oh,
That is
good
not.
grief.
Oh no, tragic. Real.
I don't know who. That fight was lost anyway.
Oh.
But that blast cone was.
I think production's gonna maybe go back and because we assume they're taking Baron. Maybe. Would love to see.
I'll look right now.
No, we got it on stream here. Who did it? Who done it?
Vrail, how could you?
Oh no. How even? He's just attacking me? What? No.
He's just orb walking.
Oh, there's so many memes that are going to be created from that moment. And then, of course, ults himself out to safety. Again, see ya nerds. Y'all are dead. Wow.
Yeah, not an ideal engage there. I mean,
I don't think that's normally the way you teleport your team as Rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Hole Sun bandage tossing into that bush just to see who was there. They had no vision on Baron, but they knew if they probably lost it there that they were going to push mid, probably take 2-3 turrets. I think they were just trying to, figure out if they could get even close to Baron to contest it. And forces that Amumu ult out, and Autopsy's forced to go in and just pays the price for it.
So I think if you're Yap, you just... Oh, no. I was going to say you try to bandage toss your wounds, but speaking of, there it goes. Conquers him to death and goes down. Okay, Dugan's fine, but you've got wave clear. You've got the Rise. You've got the Caitlyn. As best you possibly can, hang back, clear the waves. Let, yes, the Baron Empowered Cannon do some damage to your tower, but try to not lose an inhib here. You're even on Drakes. Don't lose more than you have to from this Baron. Does a nice job of dodging the binding there. I don't know if they have the damage to clear the wave though, so they need to be super careful here and not get caught. Dugan does eat a cleaver, but he's all right. And they back away without taking the inhib. Maybe they're waiting for another wave to come, but you got the cannon minions. That might have been the time to do it. But of course, Amumu coming up right now. They were a little cautious.
I mean, even still being down as much as they are, that Caitlyn is demanding respect, almost finishing Jazz there.
Yeah. That's, again, we said it maybe 10 minutes ago. That Sugan is the win condition here. Has to get some damage down off the back, to be fair, of his teammates landing big AoE CCs, locking down those thick boys in the front line. The Mundo, right? For instance, the Galio, the Renekton even. So we do see them going for the Drake. Have to imagine again, give it for free. Caitlyn and Morg up in the top lane. Probably trying to push for the tower. Control could TP top. I don't think they even have to. I think they can just waltz over there and defend top lane. Take the chem tank, Drake, for their third Drake. They're going to back. They're going to spend that wallet diff and pick up a couple more items.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Control so close to full build here. He's just going to do some immense damage. If he gets more stacks on that Magi's, there's a chance he could ult one-shot a Caitlyn without a Black Shield.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely possible. And got opportunities for things like Renekton diving in and then a Galio on top of him to pull out the Black Shield to make the Kate back way the heck up, use that flash, use the Ghost to try to escape. We do see a ult there just for wave clear purposes from Control. Don't think he knows Black Hole's over the wall there. He could be in trouble if there's a follow-up. Does get it with... Oh, huge binding. Lands it. Does ult. Okay,
Galio coming in for the save.
Absolute save. We see a TP coming in. Oh, this could be no good. Autopsy hits a big W damage. Black Hole is absolutely in there conquering them. Not so much. Autopsy flashes, but that auto is in the way, or on the way. Does go down. Goodbye, Black Hole Sun. Won't you come again? That was their chance.
It's unfortunate. It's a top gold gap. I mean, the set should be killing Lux in that situation, but that's only got 2.5 items relative to, say, Control's 4.5.
And getting Control down there would have been massive for those Magi stacks, right? And so even more than just some of the shutdown money you would have gotten. Well, apparently not shutdown money. I don't understand this game. You got 7-2. Where's the shutdown money? But yeah, it would have been the Magi stack. So they take the inhib. Not too much to worry about. No neutrals up yet for a minute and a half. So they're hanging out. That's interesting. Lux ult.
Ryoku got tickled by that Lux ult. Without the black shield under that, might have killed her.
Come on. No way.
Shadow Flame Rabcap Ludens with 20 stacks?
Nada. Anyway, they just the disrespect ult there, just blind. What if I catch somebody type thing? They're gonna, yeah, okay. So Speedy's going back, spending that cash. Controls ult is on like a 10-second cooldown, so he just ults every wave to clear it, which is fun. Jazz backs up safely. I guess I imagine they're playing for the next Baron, right? Go get some wards, clear the waves, get your vision down, and take the Baron. Yap, you fight with your life like for this Baron.
I'm just very surprised that this game is still going on. 33 minutes in, they've been up anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 gold for the last 13 minutes.
Yeah.
They need to just close this out because the longer this goes, the more opportunity that Team Yap has to find themselves back in it. Whether that be with some picks, some bad decisions by Shai Halud, or simply having enough time to get some gold to sort of get their own items, because the difference is far less between 4 and 5 items as it would be to say 2 and 3 items.
And so to your point, they need to just end it. Like, okay, here we go. Catches control. That's massive. Gets it with the binding. Control goes down. Galio comes in, slams over the top. Autopsy in the back's going to hit a big W here. Coach is caught out on his own. Is he tanky enough to live? No, he's not. Okay. Sugan is popping off. This is huge. They do walk away. Rise with the ult into nobody. Okay, trades kills. So
okay,
yeah.
they traded out, so the Baron isn't really going to be possible at this point with the more Rise.
Okay, what just happened? Spurg.
Incredible catch there on the back of Vision that they had gotten by Black Hole Sun there, getting that ult down on control and catching him. Coach did his best to get in there and get the rest of the team separated from his carries in the back line, and did so successfully for quite a long time. He's a thick lad, but
so is Autopsy, right? I mean, Autopsy's almost doing the same thing. 1v3 in the back line. Yes, he goes down, but he buys his team time to take down the Mundo, to take down the Renekton, and trade kills back and forth. But that's a huge advantage. I mean, Caitlyn gets more kills there. What, 3 kills out of that exchange, I think?
Yeah, I mean, incredible play there by Speedy at the end to trade that kill, though, to be honest. Because, I mean, if he doesn't trade that kill back, that's Baron. It's a lot more momentum then on the side of Yap. So, well played by him at the end of that fight, but they just need to make sure that Control always has one of those big boys in front of him. There's no reason for them not to take that Q binding for him. Amumu should never, ever be able to make it to that Lux.
All right. We got a little Drake action here. They look to be wanting to fight for it. So maybe we see another... Oh, they're backing... TSH backing up a little bit. They are afraid of that big engage. The Amumu Wombo conquering them down. So... But that Mundo is just so thick, especially when you get him shields, right, from the Lux and running in there. The Drake resets back to mostly full health. Interesting posturing going on here. Jazz just going to kind of build some rage off of the Drake. All good there. Wisely doesn't use any abilities to save it up. Do they have vision? Do they know Drake's at half there? I'm not sure.
They need to back off of this. They absolutely need to back off of this. I think they have a false sense of security.
They're not going to listen to you. They're going. I promise you they're going. Here it goes. Black Hole Sun, ults one person. Big ult from Autopsy. Gets in. Oh, EW, massive combo. Control almost goes down to Autopsy in the back. Still a Drake, though? Could they steal it? Nope, they cannot. Mundo secures it. Sugan is big time in trouble. Okay, Black Shield, big. Oh, does survive. Control. Still at risk here. Rise ult, okay.
Either die here. Damage. Either one of them
They both die. Maybe. Massive.
What
huge.
A play
they go
by
take
Autopsy.
the Baron off of this. This is Baron.
What an incredible play by Autopsy there, getting in there, having enough damage to bring that mid Lux down to 1 HP and finish off Jazz.
Unbelievable. Again, the Stonk betters are in shambles off of that one because it obviously it's not even yet. There's still 8-9K in the hole, but they got a Baron. They did give up that 4th Drake. That's, not what you love to see. But this is massive. I think Baron is very strong on this team with their ability to wave clear and push. I think there's a lot of towers still for them to collect and get some money for their team to help try to mitigate that gold diff. They probably take that top, get a big wave rolling, and collect 2 towers top, maybe roll then mid after that.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe I was wrong, but I thought that last fight that Yap had won on the back of that Amumu ult was a unicorn. I didn't think that they were going to get the opportunity to do that again. But in that dragon fight, Autopsy showed up as the hero rather than Black Hole Sun, and that's the plays that they need. I didn't think that was even going to be close to a win for Team Yap, but they managed it.
Did he dunk the Mundo? Is that who he did it on, right? With the bonus health? That's who you'd want to do it on, I think.
Yeah, I think he did it on the Mundo into the Renekton and the Lux.
Yeah, right. I mean, just massive damage right on their head. That's huge. Yeah, you wouldn't think when you're staring at the gold diff with Autopsy on the set that he would have been able to do that, but he hit exactly the right stuff on the right person. Does have the hull breaker, by the way, so he's... I'm assuming, again, boomer moment. I assume it's still the split push item, but it's interesting that he's taken that since I haven't seen a lot of the split pushing off of him, and I don't know if we think he can win a lot of the... Okay, pretty standard on the set, even if you're not split pushing. Fair enough. Thank you, production, for that. Do get the objective bounty over to set, speaking of.
And we see bounties falling off, and I mean, they're only down 6,000 gold.
Yeah.
And when the teams have 7,000 or 70,000 apiece, that margin is not nearly as wide as it used to be. Everybody's sort of coming online with their builds. Nobody is sort of looking like a fish out of water. Let's say we saw Autopsy earlier, looked like he was, for the better part, useless in a lot of fights. But now he's got 3 items. He's strong. He's got that big Mundo to dunk into the team and deal a lot of damage.
So, okay. Big Rise ult for top lane push. Interesting. Okay, sure. I like it. I love it. You love to see that. That feels like an Abarn Rise ult, which always either questionable or really good.
They want to collect this last bounty that they'll have.
That's huge. Are they looking for a fight here? Okay, does catch the binding. Big damage on Autopsy. Holy mother of God. That was a lot of damage, but I think they're able to walk away. Did I say it probably wrong here? The Galio ult coming down. Massive knockup on Vrail. Sugan is still pumping out damage. Big Amumu ult there. Massive Black Hole Sun. Has to run away, though, because he can't do anything else other than just the ult. Vrail's going to go down. Real Clue. Dead. Interesting ult. Zanya's. Sugan still trying to put out damage.
Sugan's trying to play hero, and he's doing a good job.
Does have
so
the
far.
trap line to back up to if he needs to. Can still push the wave. Almost eats a binding. Wow, that was pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, the issue here is if he gets stuck by anything, he's dead.
Yep, he does a good job sitting behind the minions so the cleavers can't get him. And yes, you lost one more person there than the other team did, but I think that's still considered a win. They do stop the back, and they keep pushing some pressure. I think they probably have to back here. But okay, maybe not. Maybe he still stays and pushes the wave. What is happening in this game?
We are seeing Shai Halud get punished for playing around. Just messing about for 12, 15 minutes when they had a massive advantage, when they really should have been pushing to get that game over with against these, big scaling champs.
Was that a 5-man Amumu ult? Did he catch every single person in that? That was outstanding.
If it wasn't 5, then it was 4, but it was close either way.
I don't think I've ever seen a 1 in 12 Amumu. They don't ever do that in my games. The 1 in 12 Amumu never hits the 4 or 5-man ult. But that was outstanding. That was great. He's pretty low on mana. He's probably going to go back after picking up this red buff. Interesting not to donate it to your Galen Caitlyn, but so be it.
Yeah, I hope we do get a hover over the Conqueror healing to see just how that's gone so far. We got dogged. We got dogged for that one, and it still doesn't seem great. But maybe there's no better option.
Okay, so he's a Galio. It just to call out, I feel like King was huge early on, massive in terms of engaging, catching out people. We just haven't seen any of that in the last 15 minutes or so, right? And we sort of joked. I don't know, what was it, 20, 25 minutes ago, around maybe the 19-minute mark, about the game going to 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and how LOL that was, that would never happen. Well, here we are, and I don't think the game's going to end in the next 2 minutes, right? It still could go on for a while, depending on how these next fights go. So, wow. What a turn of events.
It's tough now for the Galio. Early game, the Galio's very, very strong, high base stats, good base damage on Galio's abilities, as well as like good base tank stats. But now everybody's got items. That Galio's building support items. It doesn't have the stats to really hold up.
So Renekton, just real quick, Renekton does have a solid split push here. There is no response to him, and he's got grubs. He's got big time push pressure. What are they doing? I mean, TP to it or something.
Smart play. They have to fight over Elder. If they don't stop them from
go now.
Elder.
Advantage. There it is. Alt does catch the Galio. I mean, you probably don't want to catch the Mundo. It does go for the Mundo dunk, big time. They're not going to get him though.
And Lux picks up Sugan.
Oh no. Yeah, that ain't it. Oh no. It's all gone wrong. We
stuck around for an extra 20 minutes.
Rail gets control big.
Going, though.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Oh man, Jazz is I don't think gonna be able to finish it, but
he should. I mean that Amumu should not.
No, the Amumu has Conqueror, Spurg. He will do a lot of damage. How dare you absolutely say those words? Oh wait. Oh. Okay, that he healed off the Void Grub. I don't really know. Okay. He's in trouble.
I mean,
Real
in
close,
any case,
sends it wide.
Jazz probably gets out here. Team Shai Halud's picking up that dragon now, and that means they're gonna reset. They're gonna back. They're just gonna walk it down mid. They're gonna win the fight.
Do they go for Baron here? You think? I know you just said they don't, but
if they go for Baron here, that is an absolute throw. There's no reason that you ever walk to Baron here. They are stronger. They have more items. They have
to bait the fight, maybe, right? To force them into you.
If I were Team Yap here, I don't even care if they take Baron, because if they walk down with Elder or with Baron, having both doesn't much matter. They should just be able to force it into that inhib. There's only one Nexus turret up. You've got a Mundo with 7,000 health. Just have him walk at the turret.
So, Berg, you lied. They're doing Baron. You told me that means throw. Okay, maybe.
This provides an opportunity.
What are they doing?
This provides
Either
an
do it or
opportunity
don't.
for Yap to go there and fight at the Baron in a disadvantageous position.
So they're reversing what they did last time. Renekton's going bottom. We do have Rail with the TP. Autopsy doesn't have it. So Spurg, you told me they get Baron, they're throwing, so that means they're going to throw. It's interesting how that worked. They have a response to Jazz this time, but does it really matter? I don't know. They've got 3 down there. I don't think they're going to kill him. They just sort of wasting time, but they've got the Baron now. They've got the Drake. And they got nothing for it. So that was bad.
Yap needed to send all hands to that Baron. There was no other play for them to make there. They kind of just sat in base.
And now bot inhibs.
The Elder only has a third of its time left, but they're not going to need that time. This is going to be the last fight here in the next 10 seconds.
All right. Here we go, Black Hole. Get in there. No, don't go on the Mundo up top. That's not who you want to try to kill. Interesting. Okay. They're just whittling them down. Autopsy's trying to go catch a small heal. And I assume then they're going to have to go all in. Amumu does have the ult. They've got their sums. They need to go here. They're just getting poked down. Flash is nothing. Does Zanya's it. And they just don't ever take the fight.
Yep. They just lose the inhib without fighting.
Oh, Berg, what a roller coaster. We felt like there was a chance.
Yeah, they showed that there was a good chance that they were coming back into that game. It was just that little bit of misplay at that Dragon fight. They didn't want to just give the inhib for Dragon. They wanted to win the fight and get the Dragon. And I mean, they should have just taken the Dragon, cut their losses at that top inhib, and gone on with their lives and lived to fight another day. But instead, they gave up a whole lot more for it.
All right, I think are we gonna get a view of the done here? Are we gonna? Yes, worth massive, huge, unbelievable. That was the difference. Yeah. So, I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to see them come back. Right? We got so excited. We got so interested in seeing what they could make happen, and one slip up. But that's what happens, right? That when you're down 9K, even if you have 2 or 3 big moments, it still only takes one moment for it all to fall apart. So
It's
I don't know what is going on. That's a weird bug, but
with the graphs at the end.
yeah. Well, it shows his name when he clicks to the top. Weird, but okay. So we have to do the needful, Spurg, I think, and award. Call it the MVP in game one.
Well, let's call it a top performer. We'll just do top performer.
But okay, so we'll do top performer for game 2, and that will lead us right into top performer for game 2. Who are you thinking?
I mean, it has to be Sugan. His entire team was on his back. He was on the losing team, and he still managed to do that sort of damage. I think as well in this game, Control could have been it top performer just as well. But I think Sugan really put the team on his back, even if it was in a losing matchup. He kind of carried them through all that mid game where the game should have been over.
Okay, that doesn't help us settle on the MVP for this. But I think what you Sugan played his heart out. You step in, you're the sub. Assume they didn't get in any games as a Tim. Got some play with Rioclu in the past, but you don't really know what to expect. You know how familiar he is with the league or the meta that this player, any of that, but comes in with the collector, as Abarn loves, and does a great job in that game. Tries his darn best, but just couldn't overcome the conquering from the other team. So
when it comes to the MVP for the series here, I mean, your recommendation, for our top performer for game 1 was Coach. I think he could get it, maybe just as well for the series. But again, I'd have to give MVP for the series to Control. He had a dominant performance. He was affecting all areas of the map, all the way up until the end of both games.
I agree. I think it could have been a coin flip in that first game, like I said, but I think Control had the better second. Coach obviously very instrumental in a lot of things happening, but a little less, big moments than in that first game, but still played a huge role for his team. So I think we're going to give it to Jacob on this one. By the powers that Muad'Dib is vested in me, I think we're gonna call Control the MVP of the series. Yeah, I think we're gonna Mr. Control. Hello, greetings. Welcome to the booth. Awesome series, awesome work. Were you nervous there in game 2 that something was going off the rails? How was the team handling the sort of comeback there from Yap?
We were limit testing. That was just limit testing. It was a fluke.
Okay, of course.
You came very close to hitting that limit.
Well, yeah, you got to test the limit that you're testing.
Yes. Yeah. Outside of that last dragon fight there, where you guys had Jazz pushing top lane, and they sort of flubbed engage on you guys. There was an opportunity there for them. If they just take that drag and then sort of reset the map instead of trying to fight you guys, that game might have ended differently.
That's very possible. But with the power of friendship, we made it. And it was totally.
So, how did you feel in your mid lane matchup against Vrail specifically here? It seemed like early game, you were dominant over him. Did he give you a lot of trouble there?
Well, I think Vrail's a good player. It's just we set it up where he was going to be on picks that he may not have been as comfortable with, and then giving me picks that I know I can kind of bully in lane. Like the Hui kind of just bullies everybody, to be honest.
Were you surprised how early game of game 1 went? It feels like, at least here in the booth, we thought that mid jungle you guys were maybe at a deficit just based on how squishy you were. Your bot lane probably should have, on paper, been at a deficit. You guys just sort of ran with it in every lane in early game 1. Was that hoping for? Was that a little bit of a surprise? Tell us your thoughts on the game 1. You sort of hinted at how you got some of the picks. Maybe you wanted some of the matchups, but did it go as you had drawn it up?
Oh yeah, it was all according to plan. Coach put a lot of thought into this, so shout out goes to him for planning that. I'm not going to take any responsibility for that. So a large portion of it was just trying to make sure that we could pressure out mid and jungle a lot, because we had confidence in top and bot to do well.
Were you surprised they let him get Carthen?
I didn't think. I thought that we were gonna get that game one, but after that performance, I don't know if we're gonna get it anymore.
Yeah, and I feel bad for us having not pulled Coach in here because I was lobbying heavily for him, and frankly, even Clover in game one as well as yourself as sort of the top three. I think he put on an outstanding performance. I think you maybe slightly usurped him here in game two, which is why we gave you the nod. But yeah, you called out. Shout out to Coach for some of the pregame work there as well in the draft room.
Yeah, no,
But-
even in game, he was making a lot of macro calls and kind of keeping everybody's head.
So he's
Where it needed to
he's
be.
living up to his name
Yeah, he's just kind of coaching, you know.
while
Outstanding.
also performing very well on the Rift on his own.
Yeah, you gotta feed the children. You know what I mean?
All right, so I will say I've got you guys as early season favorites to take the trophy home. So shout out to you guys there. Outstanding performance. Any final thoughts on the series or on the season ahead that you have? Any trash talking you want to do to your forthcoming opponents? Anything?
Oh, no trash talking. Just want to say thank you guys for casting, and Abarn sucks. And everybody have a good.
Banned.
Perfect outro.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think any of us disagree with any set. So,
All right.
all right, he gone. Spurg, any wrap up action you want to have? I know we've said a lot about here the season in general. I guess sort of hit my hand a bit there, but I'll ask you, pull out the crystal ball. Where do you see these teams stacking up in terms of, end of season rankings? Did we see a top team against a bottom team? Did we see sort of mid teams where some teams stood out? What do you think?
I mean, going in, I would have said that Yap was sort of on the lower end of my tier list when it came to the teams in the league so far this year. Just simply based on the people I know on the team and the little bit of information we have about their new players. But I mean, they showed a lot of signs of life here in this which was a pretty substantial loss as far as it goes. But in that second game, they did show that they are capable, so that's good. And Team Shai Halud showed us why they're sort of, as you said, on the top of your own power rankings, and I think a lot of people share the same sentiment. And they came to play today, and it's clear they're going to be a very tough team to beat as the season goes forward.
Yeah, and it's unfair to put them up against a team with a sub, right? Obviously, Sugi did very well, especially in game two. So who knows where Lucid would have helped the team or not, frankly. But I think maybe it's safe to say that even if it had been on the flip side of the Rift, still would have been maybe a similar performance. Not sure. But yeah, outstanding work from the whole gang. Clover again, just honorable mention there. Both games, outstanding work, and Coach as well. Apparently for busting out the notebook lamination style and prepping a whole bunch of draft work there to get what they wanted, because it obviously worked, especially in that game one.
Yeah.
Completely decimated all lanes everywhere, every minute of the game. So,
yeah,
right.
and thanks to production for putting on a good show. As is the standard with TCL, we had some minor difficulties, but Hippo got us through it pretty quickly.
Yes, and I'm working on pulling up the schedule here. Next game tomorrow, it is OTL against NR tomorrow. I assume it's at 8, same sort of standard start time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So tune in to watch me and the rest of the No Reply boys.
All right. With that, Spurg, good luck tomorrow. Everybody tune in, same time, same place, same bad league. All right, we'll see you all. Thanks so much.